Hello. Almost a song coming on there. Is it me you're looking for? No, I ain't going to sing to you every time I come live. Right. I did say I was going to tag everyone today. I did tag 99 people. It won't let you tag anymore. And then when I tried to broadcast it, it came up with an error and said, no, not interested. So Albert, for example, you was one of the people tagged. Linda, loads of people. So I'm going to tell, while we're doing this, I'm going to do one or two things. First of all, would everyone please, there's some settings you can go to. You can look it up how to do it, but you will see my videos first or any posts from me first. That's really important because you're going to see them, right? Second, click on even a video. There's three little dots, and even if it's there and it's later, you can click on it and say show notifications and click on it, and then there's other things you can do. The other thing you can do is on this live video now, you can click on it and say notify when live, and it will tell you when I'm live, right? Now, I'm not going to be going live and talking to everyone unless I have actually got information for you. Don't forget this is a court case, but we still need to keep putting the information out there, and I'm relying on you, the digital warriors for justice, to keep doing that, and you're doing a fabulous job, right? So the first thing I'll say to you is this is more recent news. Robin has made a further application for the judicial review court case to be expedited, right? Now, he's done that for a number of reasons, but that application has gone in. So now the judge is going to say, well, hang on a minute, these people want this, you know, you're not being quick enough. He's rung them virtually every day for a court date. All the responses are in. To be fair, there's no excuses, especially with such a big case. So that expedite application for judicial review has been put in, right? So that's the first thing. The second thing that people must be aware of, and I'm really pleased about this, I know the detail of this person. I still haven't received, so I'm not going to say his name. Not that there's anything wrong with me saying his name, but I've asked specifically if I can say his name and talk about in detail his bio, who he is, the case he's been involved with in the past, etc., and obviously use his name and express to you what great barrister he is, right? I wouldn't want to go up against him. So that email has been sent to Robin out of courtesy. Robin said, yeah, he's been instructed. You can sort of talk woolly about him, but not actually talk about him yet. And I've suggested that, you know, just ask the fella. So he sent that email. I sent an email request, explained what I was going to do, and said, you want to pass it to him? He's going to pass it to him. We're going to hopefully we'll get a reply before the weekend, and I will do a further update then and go through his bio, because you're all the people paying for this guy, so I want you to know how good he is. But that said, I will say this. He is of the highest caliber. He's accepted the brief, which means he has been instructed, and he has accepted those instructions, and he wants to be a part of the case. He is an expert on European law, and when I say expert, I do mean expert. He is an expert on treaty law, and when I say treaty law, I mean he's one of them strange people that not only have read the Maastricht Treaty and various other treaties from the European Union, he actually has read it in various languages. He knows it inside out. Right? That's the next thing. And he also knows our constitution inside out. He practices law in this country. He practices law in another two countries, which I'm not going to say just yet, but I will over the weekend. You're going to love this guy. And I'll tell you, there's other reasons why you'll really like him. I can tell you now, he is hated by the establishment. And we haven't gone for him for that reason, but he is highly acclaimed, and he's certainly not frightened to put his views across. As Robin normally says, he will thrust the bayonet and make sure it's home. So let me tell you something, this is a really good guy. With Francis Hoare, obviously he's working with him. And there is a QC, a Queen's Counsel, that has been briefed. He, I believe, has been instructed, but there's a number of different QCs they're looking at. They're all of high caliber, very high caliber. You're getting a formidable legal team with a strategy and legal tactics. If I was Sir James Eady, I'd be very worried. If I was the government, I'd be holding my head in my hands saying, oh, whatever. So this is lining up against them, people, and it is the people's, these are the people's barristers, and this is the people's case against the government. So I want people to be aware of that. So there's a lot of information I can give out. I'm probably going to have to do a fuller update over the weekend. Robin is exceptionally busy with the case, with other things. Don't forget his page has been taken down. And I'm going to give you an indication. I was on a panel last night. No, I won't tell you that yet. I'll tell you that later. So again, on here, I've tried to tag a number of people. It wouldn't let me send the video out. It wouldn't let me go live, and it was with the maximum number of 99. I then dropped it back and took one off, etc. So what I'm saying to you is, so there's a number of things you can do there. Click on it, make sure you put us in the settings as the first person you want to see, a number of other bits and pieces. But the most important thing is to share this, because you're making a difference. You've noticed that there were 2 articles in national newspapers online, both of them referencing this case. It is definitely being looked at. There are a number of other people looking at it in the United States of America. It could break larger over there than it does here, and then false narrative over here. That's all you. That's what you're doing, right? So again, the donate button is on there, www.defendbrexit.com. Again, there's a number of tick boxes in there. If anyone who is not from this country, this is not for the political campaign, you can donate. The button's on there, it says donate for the court case. Now that's important, because if you've got someone in America who says, you know, saying, or Conrad Black that's in America or Canada, who decides, you know, saying, I'm going to donate £1 million. Conrad Black, by the way, he's got a page. If you want to send this and tag this to Conrad Black, please do. It's an absolute disgrace what they did to him. He spent a lot of time in prison, and the people that persecuted him and prosecuted him were bad cops. That's why President Trump yesterday pardoned him. Don't leave anyone behind. He's gone back for a friend and said, I know this is wrong. And the most important thing that you must understand from that, it was James Comey, the current, the ex-disgraced FBI director who was fired, and who was the person who was the AG at the time? Not 100% sure. It was definitely Mueller, but I'm not sure what his title was. But again, Mueller was involved in that. So I want you all to understand, if you actually read the brief from Conrad. So if you can send this and tag Conrad Black's page, I'm sure he will want to know that you support him. It was a complete miscarriage of justice, and one of the things that I really liked about what he did, and what President Trump give him a shout out for on the actual pardon itself, was that whilst he was incarcerated, he didn't sit there moping. What he did was helped other prisoners, and what he did was educated 150 prisoners, serving prisoners who all passed their exams in English and various things because of his teaching skills. So all I can say is give him a shout out and post this on his thing because he is a lovely fella. Again, the two recent articles in the Daily Mail and the Daily Express. One, the Express had a video in it with myself and Robin discussing the case. All of this is because of what you do. You are the Digital Warriors for Justice. There are two ways of doing this. We can do it by the rule of law, and we can do it to some extent through politics. But I'm being honest with you, this is a pure cut case for taking back control of our country via the rule of law. So there are lots of positives. We've got a fantastic case, people, I'm telling you. The discussions and strategies that are going on in the background are fantastic. I'm really pleased with the thinking of these people. I can tell you Sun Tzu is most definitely, if you don't know what that is, it's the art of war. It's a strategy or a series of strategies that are placed to put things in all the ducks in order to make sure you win before you even go into battle. So, and sometimes not even to fight a battle. This is such a strong case. With your effort, we could even get a declaration from the judge, because it would be down for the government to appeal it. And when I say a declaration, you could get a written declaration that comes back. I'm not suggesting that will happen. It's too big a case for that, but it would go straight to the Supreme Court to be argued in front of 11 judges in the same way as Gina Miller's case was. So there's a lot of things that are going on in the background still. Some of the things I can't discuss, not because we don't trust you, it's because we don't want the enemy to know what we're doing. And there are elements of that are being held back. I can tell you now, we have an exceptionally powerful case. I certainly wouldn't want to go up against this team of barristers in any medium, in whether it is civil or criminal law. They are highly intelligent people. They have all got a passion for the law. Now, the last thing I'm going to say to you about this is, and then there's a couple of things that I'm going to talk to you about. The last thing I'm going to say is that these people have got a passion for the law. I've got a passion for the law and for our Constitution. Robin Tilbrook has got a passion for the law and the Constitution. And there are various reasons why, and there's legal reasons why, they couldn't offer their services for free, right? There are legal cases where that's been done in the past, and we're not talking about pro bono. Pro bono is a different thing, yeah? Where barristers could be held liable for the costs, right? That's why this has to be done the way it's being done. They're very clever in the way that they do things and the way they've recently been trying to stop us. So that is the update on the court case, etc. And I thank everyone that's doing what they're doing. Keep sharing this, keep sending it out, keep loving it, keep liking it. We're definitely gonna win this. The more I read the case and the more I read the arguments, I find it very difficult even to comprehend how they can defend it. It's almost undefendable. And I think that's causing them a rather big headache. And then you've got all the power barristers coming in behind it. So the argument in itself is fantastic. So again, big shout out to Robin Tilbrook. Francis Hoare, as you know, is already what I would describe as the organiser and primary barrister around the putting the law in place. And again, we have got a very good second barrister who's just accepted the brief. So again, I can tell you more about him over the weekend once I get acknowledgement from. Now, I've been told I can talk about him and what he's done and what he is, but I can't name him as such. Not because it would be illegal or there's any problems with that. There is no problems with that. It's courtesy that I need to say, listen, do you mind me doing a video and mentioning your bio and going through your history, etc. That's what I'm waiting for to come back. And it is common courtesy for me to ask him that. But I will say now, he has the mark of a very highly qualified career barrister that loves the law, that hates the EU with a passion, and he's very, very, very clever. That's it. So I'm going to say that. The next thing I will say to you is I was on a panel last night, and on that panel there was 4 people. 3 of them was in the United States. I'm thinking whether I'm going to be doxing them. I don't think I am. Let me put it this way, all 4 of us are unemployed. All 4 of us have been recently fired. You can't tell me that that's coincidence. I'm just telling you. Yeah. All 4 of them individuals, including myself, I would argue and rate are above normal intelligence in terms of what's going on, putting the pieces together and pushing the non-violent patriotic movement forward, right? None of us have done anything wrong. You tell me if you think that's strange. But all 4 of us have been fired. And just to make sure people, I mean, I can't show you this, and I'm not asking you for the money. Right, so I don't want anyone, let me just make sure there's nothing docked in my address there. I'm not asking you for any money for this. I don't want any money for it, right? My motorcycle is being sold. I'll try and get another job. It's highly unlikely with some of the things that's going on in the background, especially with the trolls. One of these guys, actually 2 of these guys, were what's known as doxed. In other words, they were outed as who they were and what they was doing, even though they had pseudo-names online. Think of Tommy Robinson. It's not his real name. His real name is Stephen Lennox, Yateley Lennox. What I'm saying to you people is it is no coincidence that 4 people on that panel have all been fired. Yeah, recently, within and one of the calls come in while we was actually on air, and the person had to step back, take the call after the discussion. He said, it looks like they may be firing me. So there's a lot going on. But just to show you what happens to us and why they do it. Yeah. First of all, they're going to keep our wages low. But that's the type of thing that you have to, as a working person, I never want to see that. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I never, ever want to see that. But that's what it says. Yeah. So for all these, and I'm going to say this once and once only, for all these trolls out there that attack me, I've put myself and my neck on the line more than once. I have seen the state turn on people. I have the experience to understand and know why I'm fighting to protect Jews, because I've seen it. I've been there. These trolls have deliberately set out to get me fired. Yeah. And they've done it to other people. I'm not on my own. These people rarely work. These people are permanently patriots. They're no good to no one. I want you to listen to me. yeah, the only reason I'm taking flack is because we are over the target. Remember that. And that is what keeps me fighting every single day. So with that said, I will now pass comment on something else, which I think you should all be aware of. The first is there is a major announcement being made, hopefully in the USA today. The 17th is the date today. Anyone out there should know that 17 refers to a letter of the alphabet. And today we are hoping, and it will happen today I'm sure, that the Inspector General's report into James Comey, probably Mueller, most likely Brennan, will be made public today. I have no doubt whatsoever that another guy in the United States who has been appointed not by Bill Barr, the Attorney General in the United States of America, but by Matthew Whitaker. That person's name is Durham. That person's name sends shudders through the deep state. He's gone up against the CIA, the NSA, the mafia, organised crime, and he's never lost. I want people to understand that one of the people that is now in the frame is treasonous May. There is a particular reason I say that. She was Home Secretary at the time this conspiracy and other pre-existing conspiracies were being enabled and enacted by the British intelligence services. That must have been authorised. Now I want you to know one other thing. When Joseph Missard, a professor who just happens to be involved with the CIA in Italy, that comes from Malta, that is British, set up an American citizen with Alexander Downer, the Australian High Commissioner at the time. I want you all to understand that he disappeared after one interview with Robert Mueller, the special counsel involved in this case. Now I want you to listen carefully what's just happened. I doubt if you have seen this on mainstream news, but they set up an American citizen, George Papadopoulos, in London. I've done a video on it. It's on YouTube. The point being, and he's wrote a book, and I've got the book here, just so you understand. Oh, by the way, I only report on facts, right? That's the facts in this book. Missard went missing. And then it come to the intention of George Papadopoulos, where he was. Because his wife is Italian, it sprinkled up to her ears that he was actually living a few blocks away from the embassy, USA embassy in Italy, Rome. Just to let you know what happened. Upon watching that interview of George Papadopoulos live on TV, President Trump picked the phone up, a direct line to the Prime Minister of Italy, and said, what do you think you're doing? We want him extradited, make sure he comes back to the United States of America. I wasn't privy to the exact wording of that call, What I do know is that yesterday, because of what is about to drop from the USA, and this is only the beginning, the Prime Minister of Italy sacked 6 of the directors in charge of the intelligence services in Italy. He stated categorically that what you have done could and has damaged the Italian intelligence services reputation throughout the world. Let me just tell you something, people. You don't sack the heads of the, I'm talking about the heads of the Italian intelligence service for no reason whatsoever. And they're on the fringe of what's gone on. The people at the centre of what's gone on is the British government, British intelligence, MI6, SES and MI5. And this is crucial. They have also brought into this fray the Crown Prosecution Service and the head of the Crown Prosecution Service, who visited the United States of America and was in discussions in private meetings with an MI6 agent and with 2 people highly involved with this case and the conspiracy against President Trump. That is Nellie Orr, who worked for Fusion GPS, and Bruce Orr, who was 4th in charge of the Department of Justice, United States of America. What you're seeing and what you're about to see unfold is the British establishment, the British political system, the 7th floor, as known in the United States of America, attacking one of our greatest allies, the United States of America, attacking President Donald Trump, attacking his administration, attacking the United States of America's Constitution, and attacking the people of the United States of America. 70 million people voted for President Trump. That's what's about to break. And I want you all to know, I have been studying this, commenting on it, reporting on it for the last 2 years. I've been on this from my first indication of there was something seriously wrong. So were the other 3 panelists that was on that show with me last night. And we've all been fired. Think about where you're getting the truth from. Us, as citizen journalists. Where we go one, we go all. To finish this conversation, I'm going to say to you people, I love you all to bits. I'm doing this for you, and I'm doing this for the future of our country. Someone has got to stand up to these people. Don't forget what I believe. The Constitution is the solution. Thanks. And don't forget to share, peeps.